Alrighty, well, hello there. It's like getting a little echo there. So, my name is Tameka Garrett. I am the host of this show. Voila, you see my name there somewhere. And it is Stilettos on the Pavement exclusively on We Believe Digital podcast, which is more of a media company than anything. So I'm excited and I'm really tired. So if my energy isn't, what it normally is, y'all will understand. And as a female entrepreneur, which this show is about, promoting, connecting, supporting, and believing in one another, a lot of you ladies can understand that, because you are juggling homes, booze, children, school, work, a side job, or your small business, as people like to say. And it is a lot, okay? And then in addition to adding the mental thing, you guys know I'm an advocate for NAMI, which is the National Alliance for Mental Illness. I work with them in Jackson, Mississippi, and building a relationship with them in Georgia. Add anxiety to that, it could be a lot. So my point in saying that is that, women, you are not alone. Make sure that you take care of yourself while you're getting everything else done. You have to have self-care. Like, pencil that in your schedule and take it serious. Just as you take your business serious and your children serious, you got to look out for you, okay? So it could be a spa day, it could be a yoga day, whatever relaxes you and gives you peace, then do more of that. For me, sometimes it's drinking my whole cup of Earth Flame coffee, because we get busy. You pick up the cup, you start drinking it, and then your emails, you're this and you're that, and you don't finish the coffee. So I'm working on finishing my coffee first, then going to emails, answering phone calls, etc., etc. So today I have a very special guest that warms my heart, who does all of these things that I just mentioned, and she works with her sister a lot. You guys may or may not know her, but if you don't, I encourage you to find out who she is and do business with her, because she is a true example of stilettos on the pavement, in professionalism. I'm talking about to the T. Do you hear me? And that is important. It's very, very important. So I will wait no longer and allow her to introduce herself. Her name is Melissa Banks. Hello, girl.
Wow, Tameka, thank you so much for having me here today. I'm so excited for you, for your We Believe digital podcast. That is so amazing. I am passionate about encouraging women and pushing women to be the best version of themselves that they can be, that they can go further than they ever thought if they just believe in themselves. So congratulations on all of this, and it's such an honor to be here. Those who don't know me, I'm a master event planner. I've been a master event planner for over 20 years. So I do all types of events, and God has just really moved in my business. It's almost unrecognizable since the pandemic. So much has happened, but I believe in working hard, going for your dreams, and as long as you continue to keep going, they will happen. So I'm excited to be here to share with you today.
Great. I'm happy that you are here. We have so much to cover. I want to back up a little bit before we get into your event that's coming up in August, right? I will never forget the day that you told me, and I can share this, I know. I'm glad that I didn't believe what people were saying, the street committees, and I got to know you for myself. I said, it kind of threw me, like, okay. I didn't ask who said what. I didn't ask what did they say. You didn't share it, and it wasn't important. What I was glad about is that you didn't listen to the street committee, and you got to know me for yourself. Mm-hmm. And then you learned whatever you learned versus whatever they said.
That happens to us as women. We hear things before we meet someone, before we get to know them, and then we make an opinion based on someone else's experience. What I have learned is just have your own experience with that person. And that was very important, and that's why I shared it with you that day. Just what you needed to know is that, yes, I heard some things. But you know what? As I talked to you, as I got to know you, as I learned more about you, I forget what those things are, because now I know Tameka. That's happened to me over and over again in my life. And sometimes as women, Tameka, those things stops us. We hear those things, and it stops us from believing in ourselves. It stops us from moving forward on our dreams, because that stuff is out there. Absolutely. And it also stops us from collaborating with other women. And collaboration is a great thing.
It's the way to go.
It is, but women are very hesitant to collaborate because of that type of situation. So I'm real grateful that those things did stop us from getting to know each other. And over the years, from my very first Stilettos on the Pavement, I'll never forget it. I will never forget that experience. I was so excited that night and so proud to see women really believing in themselves and just really going forward and taking down some of the faces that we put on. So it was such a great experience for me. So I'm so glad that we were able to get to know each other, and over the years know that we're wonderful people, and there's so much wonderful things in you, and you believe in giving back. You believe in, and I'll never forget the first time I heard you say this is, I support for real. And I remember saying that, and then I saw the action behind it. So I thought that was just amazing. I always remember that. And I say to people, I support for real. I don't just talk about supporting. Yeah. I really support you for real. And that's the first time that I heard a woman say that and meant it and do everything she can to support you. And that's the person that you are.
Thank you so much for that. It takes a lot, and in this climate where we are in the capital, Jackson, Mississippi, it's hard. It's way harder than I knew because I wasn't used to what happens here, and I know that we're not perfect. We're all human. We make mistakes. We have similarities and we have differences. But at the end of the day, if someone is telling you something about, I'll use you for an example. If they tell me Melissa is X, Y, and Z, I'm going to listen to them depending on who's telling me, and I'll keep that in my head. But I also want to know maybe my relationship with you would be different, because I don't know what happened with you and her. You know what I mean? So I do get to know people and come up with my own, not judgment, but my own decision if this is someone that I need to do business with, or if this is someone that, I can be a prayer partner, because it's everybody you meet is not meant for you to have a ship with. By that I mean a partnership, a relationship, a friendship. And so we have to you do have to be cautious, because there are a lot of people who will use you to death if you let them, right? And being kind-hearted, I cried many a nights, and I'm sure you probably have, your stories and testimonies too. But because the thing about it is, when I was doing and supporting people for real, they weren't used to it, I don't think. They always seemed to think I had a motive for wanting to do something or wanting to stab them in the back. And I don't blame them, because I quickly learned if that's what you're used to hear, then of course your guards are going to be up. But there are some women that wanted to support each other for real, because we want you to be successful. We understand that collaboration and the partnerships are the best way to go, but you can't do them with everyone.
And everybody, what I've learned, Tameka, is everyone that you meet is not there for everything. They may just have a purpose to be there, and that's their only purpose.
Good point.
And what happens to us is they're there for that one purpose, but we want to make it something else, and then we become displaced in their relationship, because she was only there for that purpose, but we wanted her in all the other circles in our space, and that's when sometimes things happen and it doesn't work well. What I've learned, I've been in this business, I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years, so I've learned a lot. But one of the things that I've learned is I protect my peace. I focus on my dreams, goals, and visions for my business, and I make decisions about relationships, about marketing, about places that I place myself based on me. And then so if you do something that's not consistent with my values or not consistent with what I want, then you're going to be responsible for you. But as long as I'm focusing on what it is that I want to do, where it is that I want to take my vision and my business, I focus on that. I know in my heart that I'm passionate about seeing women succeed. So when I meet a woman and share some of me, it is about seeing you win. That is 100% what I'm there for. I don't spend time convincing you of that. I don't spend time worrying about what you thought about that, or did I say that right? Because what happens is all that stuff clouds you. You cannot move toward your dreams. You cannot move toward your visions if you're stuck trying to figure out somebody else's motive.
That's true.
So just focus on you, what you're there for, what your purpose is. Be clear about your purpose, and be selective about guarding your peace. And when I say that, I mean that everywhere, on social media, in person, who you talk to,
hallelujah.
Email. And social media is great, but you can control your peace even on social media. That's what that unfollow button is for. That's what that block button is for.
Okay,
and that's what it's for. That they even have a restricted. I might want you to see some stuff, but I don't want you to see everything.
I just learned that.
Exactly. You can control your peace, and if you control your peace, you can reach your dreams, visions, and goals.
I love the way you said that. I'm going to move this mic thing a little bit here. So I like, you said so much good stuff, right? So I remember when, and you probably saw it on social media, there was this young guy, I think he was a car dealer or something like that, and he started saying he wants to go where the money resides. I think he worked for Honda or something, and it became a big deal on social media. I'm going where the money resides. I'm going where the money resides. And I thought, yeah, that's cute. You do have to do that, right? And I learned differently. I wasn't going where the money was. I was doing things out of the kindness of my heart, right? Lost a lot of money, cried a lot, and then I thought, this isn't going to work when I'm doing all this stuff, and at the end of the day, I'm trying to figure out how to pay my mortgage or how to get my mom's car note paid. But I said all that to say, you talked about peace. So now I say to myself, I have to go where the peace and the money resides, because I know God has great things for me. I know what kind of lifestyle he wants me to live. I understand now that I have to be able to work, but be able to do it where it's not benefiting everyone else but myself, and I'm not losing my peace in doing it, as you mentioned. So can you talk to us about, we have a few minutes before we go to a break, what are some of the things that you do to maintain your peace?
Well, first of all, I start my day in prayer, and that prayer begins with gratitude. So I believe that when you are grateful for where you are, instead of cataloging things that are not happening, just catalog all that stuff that God has blessed you with, all those great things that have happened, and all the doors that open and close. Because if the door closed, that meant that was the best thing that could happen to me in that day. I believe that you need to find a scripture or poem or a quote that encourages you, that you can repeat when you get out of bed in the morning, because that sets your day up for success. And that makes all the difference in the world, to begin your day in gratitude. Another thing that I do is I have self-affirmations, because the biggest thing that stops us as women, as people basically, is our belief in ourselves. So those affirmations help me believe that I have everything in me to get to where I'm supposed to be. So I literally say them out loud. Say, I am beautiful, I am amazing, I'm smart, and I am a winner. Say those things out loud, and it pours into your spirit. It sows into your spirit, and the more you do it, say it even when it feels awkward. Maybe today I'm just not believing it because a lot of stuff is happening and I'm not there. But if you still say it, you say it repeatedly, it sows into your spirit. And you keep going, you keep saying, and then you will be able to believe it.
Right, you will believe it, and you will be able to do, your behaviors will change, right? Absolutely. I'm working on affirmations actually about 2 months ago, because I keep saying, I say things as if I want them to happen, and affirmations are, you're supposed to say them as if they already happened. So I catch myself a lot trying to be like, okay, wait, that's not the way to say that, Tameka, you have to do it this way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, even the Word of God says it happens when you believe that it has already happened. Right. He's already given us that confidence. So when you speak in I am great, I am smart, it's not I want to be. Right. It's I am. And that's what sows into you. And the more you say it feeds into your thoughts. And if it's in your thoughts, it's what comes out in your life.
Absolutely. So I am bigger than anxiety.
That's
I am going to be healthy. So
Absolutely.
I'm working on those things. I am going to get another property in 2023. Okay, though, that's how you have to do it, and you have to believe it. And I think if you tell yourself that enough, at some point, like you mentioned, you will believe it. Mm-hmm. You will do the work that's required to get that done, and don't just depend on God to do it. You have to move. You have to get off your behind and get to work.
Absolutely, absolutely. Faith without work is dead, right?
Right.
So if you don't do nothing, ain't nothing going to happen. So you have to put in the work in order to get you to where you want to be.
Absolutely. Women are always telling me, well, I believe this and that. I said, well, I believe that God wants you to get up. He wants you to move. He has things aligned for you already, but you can't be lazy. You can't be stagnant. You can't be content like people. Oh, I'm just content. We couldn't use content at my house. My mom was like, that's not good enough. That means that you're okay with just this, with just mediocre. When I know that you're capable of these things, and I know what God has for you, But you have to go and get it. You have to earn it. You have to work for it. Or you also have to ask. And I say ask because when you're doing events, I had a problem with asking for myself when it was a fundraiser for my own stuff, Stilettos on the Pavement even. But I didn't have a problem when I was working on someone else's event. I would ask for all this stuff for them. But when it came to my own stuff, I had a big problem. So I am working on that. Which I said a whole lot there. And I know you can relate because
Absolutely.
you do events, right? A master is what you
Master event planner.
right, and that you are. So we're going to take a break in just a moment, but I am here with Melissa Banks. When we come back, she's going to give you all the ways to get a hold of her to find out more about who she is. And then we're going to get into her event that is August the 7th right here in Brandon. I almost said Jackson. It's not Jackson, but it's close. It's in Brandon, Mississippi, and it's the 5-Star Bridal Experience. We'll be right back, you guys.
Are you tired of living check to check and looking for residual income? We have just the opportunity for you. Join us on Saturday, the 25th of June in Jackson, Mississippi, as we discuss the sexiest industry in the world, travel. Let's turn your passion into profits, whether it's on a full-time or part-time basis. Please RSVP or text to 404-915-8626. We look forward to connecting and taking flight. See you soon.
We are back. Again, I am Tameka Garrett, the founder and visionary of Stilettos on the Pavement. This is our show, same title, Stilettos on the Pavement, exclusively on We Believe Digital. I'm so excited about what we're doing here in this studio, and that it's in the capital of Mississippi. It's in Jackson, Mississippi, because so many people have a voice. They need to be heard, and we are giving them a platform to do that. So if you are one of them who wants to have a voice and be seen beyond the state of Mississippi, because we are on Roku TV, we have all of our social media platforms, including the YouTube, please give us a call. You can call the number. It should be posted somewhere throughout this time, but you can also email me personally at tgarrett51@outlook.com. It's tgarrett spelled Garrett, the number 51@outlook.com. Please do not email me about no foolishness, but you can email me about business. So I'm here with Melissa Banks again, and she's going to talk about her event that is coming up. It is the 5-Star Bridal Experience, taking place August the 7th, right in Brandon, Mississippi. Yes. Talk to us about it.
We're so excited to be able to bring the 5-Star Bridal Experience. When I started my event planning company over 20 years ago, one of the things that I loved were the bridal expos and the bridal shows. It was the excitement for the year. It lets the exhibitors come in and show you their best, and it also provides entertainment and food, and you just get to know your brides up close and personal. I was excited about that. But over the years, they tend to have fallen off. We don't see them a whole lot here locally in Mississippi where I am. What we wanted to do out at 5-Star Lodge, though, was to bring those bridal experiences back in a big way. We're not just putting a room full of vendors and there's no excitement. We're treating you're going to enjoy the same 5-star experience that our guests do when they host their event there at the lodge. We have entertainment planned. We have a chef that's providing some amazing food, prizes, the top professionals, and then we have some people that's going to share their expertise, give you some secret sauce to what they've done to be able to be successful in the business. So if you're a business owner, a top professional in the industry, if you're a couple planning your wedding, if you just love weddings, you're just on the wedding party, this is going to be a great experience for all who attend. So we're super excited. The 5-Star Bridal Experience is going to be held, like she said, August 7th, 2022, from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock at 5-Star Lodge, which is located in Brandon, Mississippi.
Okay, so how can they get more information, like to purchase tickets and find out more information about it?
And we made that really easy. Those of you who follow me, or even if you don't follow me, it's still really easy for you to get tickets, get exhibitor information, sponsorship information. If you just go to themelissabanks.com, and it's the very first link, you click right there and you can get all the information regarding the 5-Star Bridal Experience.
I really hope that, you and I talked about Jackson or this area not having one of these, right? And so I am pleased and excited that you are doing this. And I know that my ceremony is scheduled for January, right? And that I reached out to you because I know that when it comes to details, you don't miss it. And it matters. It matters that the curtain is this way, or the table linen is a little bit off, or the fork is in the wrong place. All those things are important. And I've never been married, but they say this is the lady's biggest day. Like she's the most nervous. She's excited. Everything needs to go right. So are you guys going to talk about any of those things at this expo?
Well, absolutely. We have Jasmine West. Jasmine West is a master event planner and designer for her company, A Beautiful Event. She'll be coming to the stage to talk about some of her success in her business. What are the things that worked well for her? What ways to make your event more special? She will be there on stage to share with us. We also have Jeremy Cake King himself coming back to Mississippi, and he's going to be talking about not only sweets and cakes, which of course is his specialty, but he is an amazing businessman, and he's taken his cake business to levels that you would not believe. So he will be back in Mississippi to share some tips and details with you. But our exhibitors are top professionals. They will be able to share with you the best colors to put together, the best ways to set your event. What are the current flowers? You're going to be able to talk to them upfront and personal. And if you haven't gotten your gown yet and you're still shopping for your gown, we have some amazing designers. A local designer here in Mississippi, Samantha Wu with the House of Wu, will be there. Her gowns will be on fashion shows, so you will be able to see them. And we're bringing back a local. She moved to New York for a very long time. Now she's running her business out of Texas, but she's going to be here in Mississippi with Jen Cole Designs and so much more. So you're going to be able to plan your event, get some great inspiration if you need a little inspiration to get that design down, and you'll be able to talk to some event planners. And of course, me, myself, with over 20 years of event planning experience, I know what it takes to take that good event to spectacular, and I'll be there to chat with you and get some details as well.
Okay, so now I'm excited because I haven't gotten my dress or what I'm going to wear, so I'm hoping I could come to this. But if I do, I definitely will be trying to figure out what my dress looks like, so, and what size I'm going to need. That's a whole different topic. So again, this is happening August the 7th. It's going to be right there in Brandon, Mississippi. Talk to us a little bit about the 5-Star Lounge. What exactly is that? I know it's an event venue.
Okay, great. That is a really great question because I love talking about the lodge. It's 5-Star Lodge, and the owners are Clifton and Latrice Rogers. They're local owners. They own the entire property out there. There's about 300 acres of land that they own. And they had this lodge. The lodge is not new. The lodge has been there for a while, but because they're busy entrepreneurs, they really didn't have the time to give it the love that it needed so that people can know that it's there. Right. I came aboard last year, so I've been there about a year, and we've been doing some renovations and doing some changes around there, and it's just an amazing place to be. It's beautiful. You have a pavilion outside that's surrounded by water. We have a beautiful cabin that has a balcony. You can look out over the water on the balcony.
Wait a minute, in Brandon,
Mississippi. When you go through those gates that says 5-Star, it changes everything. It's an amazing place to host your wedding, your corporate event, your bridal shower. It is just an amazing venue to host any type of event that you're planning.
Okay, I'm here for it. I can't wait to see it. I love, It's the hidden gems out here for me that you don't know were there. I was driving down the street and I just happened to look. I don't know where I was the other day, but I was riding in someone else's car and there was a whole horse stable like down this little bitty road. And I was like, wait, turn around. Because although I'm allergic to horses, which pretty much sucks, but it was just beautiful, and you would not know it was back there. And I was just like, this is what I love about the country, like, if you will, right? It's just it brings me a lot of peace, especially when I go. We're from Farm Haven, Canton. It's quiet. Everyone's in your business because they don't really have a lot going on out there, and they know your people, right?
Right.
So some of that is concern, but it's very peaceful. It's very quiet. I feel like I have time with God and to get my thoughts together versus right now I am struggling with distractions. Right. So let's talk about that a little bit because I want to, I'm always trying to pick your brain. With you doing so many different things, right? You have so much talent. God has really blessed you. How do you keep from being distracted?
Well, I have, I'm fortunate that I can focus on certain areas. I don't do a lot of last minute stuff. Most of my stuff is planned and I know what's going to happen. But one of the biggest challenges with doing a lot of different things is knowing what you need to do here, what you need to do there, and what you need to do there. And what I use, and I know there's some fancy things happening, but I am old school and I've been doing this a long time. I get a composition book, the spiral notebooks, and I make lists. People who follow me and have heard me talk know that I talk about lists. If it's not on the list, it's probably not going to happen. It has to get on the list. So I set aside time on Sunday. I do it on Sunday. Another day may work for other people, but I do it on Sunday. And I sit down and I write every single thing down that has to happen that next week. And then I go back and I prioritize those things. And I put stars by what needs to happen because I know what happens is if we have too many things, my list may have 30 items on it, right? But if I look at that 30 hours, I'm going to become overwhelmed. And then I'm going to be running around, not really getting things done because I'm too overwhelmed. So then I break it down and prioritize. What's the most important thing to do Monday? And I highlight those things. So when I get up Monday morning and sit down at my desk for the first time, I know what I'm working on for the day. I know what those goals are for the day.
Right, and it helps you stay focused.
It helps you stay focused and it helps you move. And when we know we're moving, it encourages us to do more, right?
Right.
So for me, I have a pink highlighter. So as I get things done,
You're my kind of girl.
I highlight them. And when I look over there at that pad and I see all that pink that happened that day, it pushes me and I'm like, wow, this was a great day, right? So you have to find a system that works for you. I know that's old school and people that see this are probably, girl, grow up, get something digital. I know. But for me, that works. And you have to find what works.
That works for me. And my little sister Talisa is always, girl, you could put that in your phone and you could I was like, look here, I tried to do that, but let me do what works for me. Just like you. I have this. I have my list for tomorrow. This is what I have to do. And I'm going back. I just bought a new calendar. I'm going back to penciling. I will have it in my phone too. As a reminder, but everything has to be in this calendar, the one that I put in my purse and I go day to day, because otherwise I miss a lot of stuff. And then you start things and you don't quite finish because you're all over the place, And so that's good suggestion. Old school or not, it's effective.
It really is. And then you have to be really good about controlling disruptions. My friend Cyrus talks about this all the time, and he helps me so much. He's a mentor and friend and business partner. But one of the things he says is, Melissa, just because you call me at 1:00 doesn't change the task that I should have been to be working on at that time. So you have to get really good at determining what you allow to interrupt you so that you can stay on focus. Because we do so many things, running the lodge, my event planning company, my motivation stuff, which is so important to me and passionate. I'm so passionate about that. So I have to be able to do it all, right? And I can't do it about every 10 minutes I take a phone call and I talk for 30 minutes. Then,
Right, or you go on social media for one thing and you're on there for 40 minutes later.
Right, you have to be sure that if you're on social media, you're you're productive.
Yeah.
Because being on social media is part of our job, right? It's what we just talked about, that it's what we have to do, but you also have to control it. Because I'll find myself, if I'm tired, I'm just scrolling and I'm not really being productive. So I have to get myself out of that. One of the things I do, because I have to recharge, I have to breathe too, right? So I like to have a cup of coffee, and I found I don't know, this year I started dropping peppermint in my coffee. Oh, wow. I know, right? It's really good. It's really good. And it's really, it's like a treat to me when I am able to sit and have my cup of coffee with my peppermint in it. So I started making sure I have that few minutes to finish that cup of coffee, like you talked about this morning, with that peppermint in it. It's a treat for me.
Yeah,
I believe in treating yourself and celebrating your wins, even if they're small, because that keeps you moving.
Absolutely, because it's nothing like, I am a part of a travel, so I own a travel agency, right? I have a travel business, and one of the things is like, when you get to this, they want you to go here and they want you to go here, and I'm just like, hey, hold up. You have to take the time to celebrate those small things, because if not, and I can speak for me, or a lot of people will be discouraged because now they kind of like dismiss you with this part, and this is even in the workplace. When your team, your staff, your family members, whatever you call them, acknowledge those things, because it happened, right? So it's an accomplishment. I have a retail background and restaurant background in HR and ops, and team building is so important to motivate people, but we also have to realize what I tell people, our generations are different. So what motivated us may not motivate this generation. They want to be recognized, but they also want to be left alone. And right now, you guys, if you're out there trying to decide what your team and I know this is a whole different thing, but still it goes together. What can you reward people? Gas is expensive right now. So you can get some gas cards from wherever and give them out to your team. Just reward your team, people that are helping you get your results as a company and a business, because nobody could do this on their own. So I'm going to lead into just this. It's just a question. I know you do a lot of different things, and you do it very well. But who helps you to manage these things? And I know one person you're going to say, because she's like my favorite person, right?
Of course.
I know how important family is for you, like it is for me.
Absolutely. You're referring to Ida. Ida is one of my ride or die. She's going to be there, whatever. I talk about this all the time. She's always there, whether it's something big, whether it makes sense to her, because when you dream big, sometimes your dream will take you down a road that, it just didn't happen. Right. But she's right there with me, and she guides me and gives me that push when I need some inspiration, because we all need inspiration at times, and you got to have people around you that gives you that push, and you have to have a team. When I started my business over 20 years ago, I was doing every single thing myself. I can remember my very first wedding. My mom was helping me.
Okay,
my mom was sitting at the desk greeting people. So I tell that story all the time, because as the business grew, though, you have to have people that you trust, that you enjoy being around, because you spend so much time around them, and that's very important. So you have to have some people around you. My dear friend Michelle passed away in February, but Michelle came to meet me and wanted to mentor with me shortly after I started my business, and worked with me in my business until her health failed last year. But you have to have people around you like her that believe in you, believe in your business, and there to push you when you need a little push. And that's so important to do for all of us. Another thing you said, and I have to comment on it, is you talked about celebrating the small wins. Because what happens, we have this big goal, you have this big thing you wanting to get to, right? But it takes a whole lot of little things before you get there. If you wait till you get there to celebrate, you're going to get overwhelmed. Right. You're going to quit before you get there. Yep. But if you celebrate along the way, it keeps pushing you to go further. So celebrating along the way, whatever that is for you, is so important.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you said that. I was thinking as you were talking, because you do have to have people to help you, but you also have to have people that you can trust. And with that, I'm talking about, when you're helping someone do an event or helping someone on their work, their job, you learn a lot about them. You learn some things that should not be shared with other people, because it's not their business, but they entrusted you with that information. And so I just want to, encourage people, when people ask you to be a part of their team or help them, that is an honor, because that means they trust you to help get to the vision, to the goal, to the bottom line. If it's a company, they trust you, right? So don't mess it up. I almost said a bad word. Don't mess it up. Be trustworthy or walk away. When you, and this has happened to me, so I could speak on it. I was befriended a lot of people, women, and they learned some things about me. I just happened to be somebody, right? I had to learn this myself, and then the next thing I know, a lot of the stuff that they learned about me, other people was talking about, and I'm like, the only way you could know that is this. Then I know I'm way older, but then they start telling my dad, like, you know your daughter was at the bar last night? And I'm just thinking, dude, so this is men and women, right? I'm like, how old am I? I'm not in the 12th grade. My daddy know I would be at bars. My daddy know his children, But my point is, just be trustworthy. If people trust you, don't lose it. And if you feel like you can't keep your mouth quiet, or you're going to go over there and talk about this group of people that you just left, catch it, don't do that. Because what happens is, Jackson is really nice. They don't really want to say nothing. But one day, someone's going to let you have it in maybe a Christian way and maybe not. Because you should be quiet. You should be respectful, and you should learn what loyalty really means. And I said it. This Melissa didn't say nothing to do with that. It was I. Commercial break.
Advertise on WeBelieve.global, a brand new digital media platform. Share your brand with our audience on our many global live stream TV broadcasts and over the radio. For more info, visit WeBelieve.global or call 800-492-5186, option 1.
Hi, I'm Q Talicia Garrett. I am here to introduce our New South Development and Training Outreach Hour every Tuesday at 2 p.m., giving you information on how to become a part of the programs through USDA and Farm Service Agency. We can be reached at 678-779-9468. We can also be found online at newsouthoutreach.com.
All right, so we are back. This is our last segment. Gosh, time is flying by, right?
Yeah.
So I keep looking at your jewelry. Like, I know that you used to do the jewelry, and so you still have that business as well?
Absolutely. We are restocking our inventory right now, so look for some new pieces coming soon. But I have to tell the story of why the jewelry happened. The jewelry came years ago. When I first started my business, I wrote in a journal that I wanted to have a jewelry business. And so the jewelry finally came about 5 years ago when, maybe about 3 years ago when we actually launched it. And it was just an automatic pearls. And people asked, why did you choose pearls? Because we only sell pearls. Everything we sell is going to have some pearls on it. But pearls to me make me feel good, So it's not just about they're beautiful, because they are beautiful in my opinion, but they also make me feel good. So I can put on a t-shirt if I'm not feeling great that day, and put a strand of pearls around my neck, and it's instant feel better. If I get a gift and there's pearls in there, whether it's a pearl earrings or a little bracelet, it just makes me smile. And I wanted to see that in women. I believe when women feel beautiful, when they feel better about themselves, they can do so much. And they are unstoppable when they feel good about themselves.
Absolutely.
And that's what Dream, this is the name of our jewelry line, that's what brought it about. And one of the things we do is we call them our inspiration bracelets. And the inspiration bracelet is just one strand of pearls bracelet with some words on it that say dream or inspire or elevate, that you wear facing you, because it's you that you're wearing it to inspire. When you give it to someone, it's to inspire them. So that's one of the things that we do with the jewelry line, and we're excited about it.
So how can they get more information so that they can support, purchase, all of that?
You just simply go to themelissabanks.com, click Dream a Jewelry Event, Jewelry Boutique, and it'll take you right to the website. We're going to be making some announcements really soon with some new jewelry that's on its way, that's coming in, that we're so excited about.
So it sounds like they go to themelissabanks.com for everything, kind of like a link tree, if you will.
That's what it is, exactly. It will take you there. Each link each service that we offer, whether you want to book some time with us or want us to appear on one of your shows or whatever it is that you're looking for, event planning, you just click the link and it takes you to the website for that. All the information is right there. We just made it really easy. TheMelissaBanks.com, and everything that you need. All of our podcasts. We have a podcast, Dream by Design with Melissa Banks, where we talk to women and we talk about their journeys and what they went through to get there, the failures, the successes, and what made them keep going. So you can listen to some of those interviews. You just go right there to TheMelissaBanks.com and click Dream by Design with Melissa Banks, and the interviews that come up, and you listen to some amazing women and their stories.
I'm going to do that. I've done it before, but I also know that we're always rushing to the finish line. But ladies, as an entrepreneur, even being a serial entrepreneur for some of us, sometimes you run into the finish line, sometimes you're skipping, sometimes you're walking, sometimes you're limping, and doggone it, sometimes you're crawling to get there, right? Just keep going. Just keep going as long as you are making sure that you are healthy and taking care of you. It's not easy being an entrepreneur. It's not easy having your own business. It is not easy, but we believe that it is possible. It's possible because God answers prayers. Let me say that first, right? And then second, you have to keep your faith, right? That this is going to happen because it's what you want to and you're willing to do the work for it. And then second, we have to do a better job of believing in our own skills, our own talents, and utilize the resources that are right at our fingertips, right? So, and I say that to me because I don't ask people for a lot until now, because you can't get it done if you don't ask. And sometimes one lady told me, Tameka, no one thinks you need help, so they don't give it to you. And I was like, what? They said, well, they see your dad has this and this, so you don't need financial assistance. I'm like, first of all, my dad's bank account way different than mine. I'm probably in the negative sometimes, right? And I do need assistance, but if we don't ask, they don't know. They just make assumptions. And so I said all that because every woman has their strengths, their weaknesses, or what's effective and ineffective. So just keep pushing, ladies. Just keep doing your best to get to whatever your finish line is, however you define success. Please don't let society define that for you, because I'll say all the time, success for me, and sometimes those with any mental health diagnosis, right? Success is getting up, getting dressed, and getting through that day, or sometimes it's getting up, leaving your house, even if it's for a walk in your neighborhood, it's defined different. And then sometimes success is getting that $100,000 contract, then you're like, yes, God. But success is different, and it depends on who you ask and what's going on in their world. I know that society will have you believe that it's the White House, the big house, white picket fence, bleh. That's out of here. That is out of here. You define success, and you don't have to be a certain size, a certain nationality, a certain occupation to do that. I love the freedom that we have now prior to COVID, but especially after that, because people will begin to be outside of the norm, more so than before. And I'm really excited about that. So let me ask you this. What changed for your business, right, after COVID happened?
Oh, wow.
Right.
I've made the statement earlier, my business is unrecognizable since COVID. And the thing about it is I'm in the event industry. So when COVID hit right behind an amazing event we had just had in January called Black Women's Business Expo.
Yes, that was good.
We were so excited. We had inspired so many women entrepreneurs, and we were just on the top of the world. Well, that was in January. By March 2020, everything changed, right? And I'm in the event industry. 95%, if not more, of my business was face-to-face. So I was in panic. I was like, quitting is not an option. So what do I do?
Right.
And I took a chance on signing up for an experience that David Tutera, if you don't know who he is, he's a celebrity event planner.
Major.
He is major. I got an email from him at 11 o'clock at night, and he was having this experience that was starting the next day.
Look at God.
And, it took Lord, I said, Lord, I don't have no money. I don't know where the money coming from.
And it starts tomorrow.
And it starts tomorrow. And I took the chance of signing up for it, and I did. And then it came back and says, you can elevate to a VIP where you can actually talk with David. Okay. I did that too. Even though I didn't know what was going to come out of it, I didn't know what it was going to mean for my company, but I knew I had to do something drastic. Sometimes it takes a big step. It has to be something drastic.
And it's David,
right. Ooh. Yeah, I had to go for it. Well, because I did and made that investment and showed up every day of that experience, I talked to him, I shared experiences. At the end of that, he called me and said, hi, Melissa, it's David. So I was just really thrilled to actually, what? David Tutera's on my phone. But then they offered me a 1-year mentorship with David Tutera. So that changed everything. I believe that we have to, even though it may, on the surface, things may look really bad, like you don't know what's going to happen, that you're scared to death. But if you just believe that God is in control of everything, and at the end of the day, it will work out for your good, then it will happen for you. Because I said yes at a moment that it was very scary to me to say yes and make that financial investment to do it, it changed so much for me. I got to be in the rooms with event planners that were doing things way different than we were doing them here in Mississippi. Mm-hmm. It opened up other doors for me to be able to host and co-host radio shows, things I never thought was even in my atmosphere to do. So it opened up so many different doors. And then it opened up the opportunity to be a dream of mine was to manage a venue. Out the blue, I get a phone call and are you interested? We're looking for someone. I wasn't looking for them. Man. They were looking for me.
Right.
See, God had already lined all that stuff up. But it took me saying yes. Even when it didn't feel comfortable. Even then when I was afraid. You can't wait till you're not afraid anymore to move toward your dream. You will miss it because fear in the pandemic was huge. Everybody had it. We didn't know what we were dealing with, right?
I did it. I had it. I was like, STILETTOS on the Pavement is a face-to-face interaction, right? A limited amount of people on purpose, and I'm not computer savvy. So I was like, first of all, I don't want to go to Zoom because I like people. Like, I generally like people. But then I also don't want to learn this Zoom. So let's just be real. I was like, Janitra was like, Tameka, if you just do the Zoom, I will manage it and do all that for you. But I put it off because I, again, didn't want to do that. And now I realize, yes, I have to learn Zoom.
Have to learn.
And so I know how to join meetings all the time. But me trying to have, and the team here is probably like, yep, she telling the truth. She was like, girl, I'm like, how do you do this? I know how to join a meeting, but me having my own meeting, I'm struggling with that. But
Tameka, it's funny you said that because when all of this happened, I was in your same place. And that's why I say to people, you have to be willing to say yes to the opportunity. Then you have to be willing to get the skills necessary to do what you want to do, right? So it was clear face-to-face events were not going to happen right away.
Right.
I was not technical savvy at all.
Oh, I hate it.
So I had to get the training. One of the recommendations, and I'll just tell you, David Tutera made to me is, Melissa, think virtual. Well, virtual scared me because I don't know how to do Zoom. I don't know how I'm going to bring people in and all of that stuff. But once he said it, I went got the training to get the skills to do what I needed to do. You can't go to the next level if you're not willing to invest in yourself and invest in the skills to get you to where you need to be.
Absolutely. And I think that's a really good point right here is that you have to invest in yourself. And some of that is financial. That is the lessons that you have to. A mentor is priceless, right? I have a new one. Those classes, there are some classes that are free, and then there's some classes that are simply just worth paying for. The social media one that I just took recently with your guy, I learned so much stuff, and just that, what was it, an hour?
1 hour, yes.
I was in the kitchen listening and taking notes like, oh my God, wait a minute, and so you guys invest in yourself. It's worth it. Even if it's, whatever your budget is, you could find someone. But remember, sometimes you pay for what you get. But these young adults here, Jaleesa, another guy that works here, Malcolm, they know this stuff. I can sit down with them. They can be patient with me. And together, that's one of the things here. It's such a big gap here. We can grow and learn. And that's one of the things that we believe is going to do. We're going to take our young students, high school and college, and say, hey, we have a platform here. Have you thought about journalism? Have you thought about podcasting? Have you thought about marketing? Have you thought about newspaper? Just so that they can learn something, a trade, or have a skill set besides whatever career they decide to go into. So I know we don't have a whole lot of time left, but I wanted to thank you so much for coming. If you could tell them again about your bridal experience that's happening in August and where they can get information and how they can support you, that'd be great.
Okay, wonderful. Again, thank you for having me. This has been an amazing conversation. We encouraged somebody, we inspired someone, and we also let them know about our event. So this was really great. And I just wanted to remind you, it's the 5-Star Bridal Experience. It will be held on August 7th, 2022 from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, that's Central Time. It's right there in Brandon, Mississippi. Also, you can stay connected with me. My name is Melissa Banks. I'm Master Event Planner and Venue Manager for 5-Star Lodge. And you can stay connected with me and all of our platforms right in one place. That's themelissabanks.com.
Okay. And that's so easy because we're working on certain things, and one place might be this name, one might be this name. So when you could get everything to be one name, is such truly a blessing. So the one name that you should remember right now, and it's the website, it's themelissabanks.com. You can check her out on social media, get all the information that you need. If this bridal experience is not for you, then she has jewelry, she has inspiration, she has another podcast show. There's so many different things that she offers. So you guys try to take advantage of that and support her. This is going to be very nice. I promise you it's going to be the first class events, because that's what she does. She does it very well. So again, it's in Brandon, Mississippi, and apparently I gotta go ride through Brandon a little bit because I'll be so Jackson. I don't know anything. I mean, my friend was like, Mika, where do you want to go eat? And she's like, it can't be in Jackson. I was like, then I'm not going. I'll be missing out on food, I'm sure. So I'm really excited. God is really good. I am very grateful to be alive today, and be able to do what I enjoy doing, even though it comes with stressors. But hey, I will not change it for the world. So again, thank you, Melissa, so much for being with me on Stilettos on the Pavement, exclusively at We Believe Digital Podcast, right? We are launching, oh my God, I'm speaking this into existence. I want to do it in Canton, Mississippi, our farm haven, because that's where my dad's side of the family is from. On Friday, July 1st, it'll be a conference, and this is 2022 because this will be played more than one time. But we're launching this podcast, this business in Canton on July the 1st, and I'm excited. It's something that will be ran by young and old so that we can learn from one another. So again, thank you so much for being here today. I'm super excited for what God is doing for you so that you continue to do what you're excited about, good at, and you can help other people to learn and grow.
Thank you again for having me. This has been just amazing experience.
Thank you so much. Guys, take care of yourself, please. And again, if you need something from me, my email is tgarrett51@outlook.com. Have a good day.
Are you tired of living check to check and looking for residual income? We have just the opportunity for you. Join us on Saturday, the 25th of June in Jackson, Mississippi, as we discuss the sexiest industry in the world, travel. Let's turn your passion into profits, whether it's on a full-time or part-time basis. Please RSVP or text to 404-915-8626. We look forward to connecting